The film begins with Michael. He and his father are both morticians who wash and prepare the bodies of the deceased. At the start of the film, they are preparing the body of a woman who had recently died for her funeral. Michael asks his father how she died, but his father tells him, "Look, son, our job is to prepare the bodies for funerals. It's not good for us to know how they died." The woman had a bracelet on her wrist and a strange, sorrowful devil tattoo on her body. Later that night, Michael meets up with his friend and tells him that he has decided to join a seminary college. A seminary college is a Christian institution where students are trained to become priests. His friend asks, "Why do you want to become a priest? Your grades are so good." Michael replies, "In our family there are only two choices. Either you become a mortician or a priest. I don't want to be a mortician, so I've chosen to become a priest. After 4 years I won't have any excuse left, and at least I'll be saved from this mortician life." Then 4 years pass in the film, and it is shown that everyone has completed their course. Everyone receives their degrees, and as night falls, Michael sends his father a resignation email, stating that he can no longer continue his responsibilities as a priest. Right after emailing, Michael packs his bag and leaves. But while trying to stop him, he rides his bicycle and accidentally collides with a woman. The girl falls at a distance and is run over by a van. She gets badly injured. Michael, witnessing the accident, rushes back to her. The girl is in terrible condition. At this moment, Michael looks exactly like a priest. So the girl saw Michael and said, "Please give me a blessing so that my death comes easily." Although Michael didn't want to do all this, he didn't want to refuse a dying girl either. That's why he blessed her as a priest. The next day he meets her again, and she tells him, "I didn't send you that letter. I think you can become a very good priest and exorcist." The position of an exorcist is also quite respectable. And anyway, demonic activities are increasing in this world every year. Becoming an exorcist could be beneficial for the world too. But Michael said, "Father, I have no interest in becoming a priest." So the father said, "If you don't become a priest, the church will transfer all your scholarships into a loan, and then you'll have to pay it back." What could Michael say? He had to listen to the father, and he agreed to become an exorcist, although he didn't believe in exorcisms or demonic activities at all. But since he was getting paid for the trip, he decided to go along with it to pass the time. The first class begins. The father tells all the students that before performing an exorcism, one must assess the person's mental and physical health. The symptoms of mental illness in demonic possession often seem similar. But in demonic possession, a person becomes isolated, is constantly in pain, and avoids talking to anyone. In this class, Michael meets a journalist who was taking the course to write for his journal. During the class, the father noticed that Michael didn't believe in exorcism, so he asked Michael to meet Father Lotus, who was an expert in the subject. Michael listens and goes to Father Lotus's house, which looked like a ruin. The father took him inside the house, where one of his clients had arrived. When Michael saw the girl, he didn't think she was possessed. She looked completely normal. So he asked the father, "How do you know this girl is possessed?" The father told him to put something in his bag. Michael didn't understand what he meant, but he placed an American dollar in his bag anyway. After that, they went to the girl. The father asked her, "Tell me, what's in Michael's bag?" The girl replied, "How would I know?" The father asked her to guess. The girl refused. The father began to put pressure on her. The demon inside her awakened. Finally, the girl said that there was an American dollar in Michael's bag. Michael took it out and showed it to her. The father explained that possessed people often know hidden things because of demonic powers. This is one of the biggest signs of possession. Then the father began the exorcism. He placed his hand on her head and recited many Latin prayers. The demon began to suffer greatly and cursed the father. But the father continued, and eventually the demon came under control. They both left the place. Then Michael asked the father, "Has the demon left?" The father replied, "No, it's just under control. It takes a lot of time and spiritual effort to completely expel a demon. It requires a lot of patience." Anyway, Michael returned to his hostel, and as soon as he put his hand in his pocket, a bracelet came out of it. This belonged to the lady whom he had prepared for the funeral at the beginning of the movie. How did it end up in his pocket? To find out, he visits Father Lucas again the next day. He tells him to call that girl again and ask her if she had put the bracelet in his pocket. The girl called and asked about the bracelet. She says that it was the demon who placed the bracelet. Then the father starts provoking the demon inside her, and Michael ties the bracelet back on the girl's wrist. As soon as the demon surfaces, the girl goes wild and says to Michael, Do you remember that woman you shook hands with that day? She's saying hello to you." Seeing her condition, Father Lucas tries to control her. The demon starts attacking the girl and begins strangling Michael too. The father grabs the girl's ear and starts reciting something, which causes the demon great pain. The girl starts vomiting. Wooden splinters and blood comes out. Eventually she calms down. For a moment we thought the demon had left her body, but that wasn't the case. He hasn't come to his senses yet. After this incident, Michael started believing in exorcism. The next day, Father Lucas calls him to his house again because they had to go perform another exorcism at someone else's home. The weather seemed fine, but the father still gave him an umbrella, saying it would rain on the way. Michael found it odd, but they left. And sure enough, it started raining on the way. They arrived at the house of a girl who claimed that a demonic horse was troubling her. There were also marks on her back as if a horse had kicked her. And he was very stressed about all this. Anyway, the father begins his exorcism. After the exorcism, the child sees Michael and whispers something strange into his mother's ear. Because of this, the mother slaps him and tells him not to say such things. After the exorcism, both the father and Michael go to their house. There, the father receives a phone call and finds out that his first patient, named Rosaria, has attempted suicide. He is called to a foreign hospital. At this point, Rosaria's condition is very bad. No one is able to control her. Her voice had become demonic. When the father begins the exorcism on her, she pushes him away and tells everyone, "You're all afraid of me." So Michael responds, "I'm not." This angers the demon, and the father performs the exorcism again to calm things down. Then they leave. After coming out, Father Lucas is very angry because Michael should not have said something like that in front of the demon. This could have ruined the exorcism, but Michael disagrees and walks away. The next morning we see Rosaria again, whose condition has worsened. At this point, the devil had completely taken over her. She had no one with her. Her hands and feet were tied. She drags herself to the emergency alarm button. By the time people reach her room, they find that Rosaria and her baby are both dead. As soon as Father Lucas finds out, he breaks down completely. Now even Father Lucas needed an exorcism, and the belief in God was rising. He leaves from here. And now we see that Michael has come to meet that journalist. He tells the whole story to the journalist, Rosaria's story. How a demon came to Rosaria, and how the demon killed Rosaria, and how the demon captured Rosaria. The people did an exorcism, but Rosaria died. He was unable to find a solution, whether all of these things are true or not. After this meeting, he goes back to his hostel room and sleeps. When he opened his eyes, he was in his mortician form, in his old house. He was shaking a dead body, and then a strange old man came to him, an old man with scary hands. He put his hand in front of Michael as if Michael was going to kiss it, but Michael stops before kissing him. Then the hand touches Michael's face, and suddenly grabs his throat. He was trying to suffocate Michael, but suddenly Michael opens his eyes and we are shown that this was all just Michael's terrifying dream.